Stop right there. Don't take another step forward. Because while you're reading these very words, someone from across the city, or maybe across the entire country, is already being pulled in your direction. This isn't a maybe, it isn't a wish, and it sure as hell isn't a coincidence. It's a movement that's already started, and it started long before you ever asked for it. Before you even understood what was happening. Before you clicked on this video today. I've seen you checking the clock over and over again, counting the years that have slipped by, asking yourself when it's finally going to happen. I've watched you shut down dating apps late at night, swearing you're done with them, only to open them up again the very next morning. I've witnessed every single time you wanted to just give up on waiting altogether. And today, I came here to tell you something that's going to completely change how you wait for the rest of your life. You don't need to chase anything. You just need to get ready. Stick with me until the very end. Because before this is over, I'm going to give you a simple, straightforward, completely free protocol to recognize the exact signs that this person is already being prepared and moved toward you. And when you spot that first sign, you're going to understand why every single day of waiting had a purpose you couldn't see on your own, and why not 1 minute of that loneliness was ever wasted. You wake up at 3 in the morning. No alarm clock, no obvious reason, no dream you can quite hold on to. Just your chest waking up way before your brain does. A restlessness that doesn't have a name. A body that feels something approaching long before your rational mind can explain what it is. You stare up at the ceiling, listen to the dead quiet of the house, check your phone out of habit, and then fall back asleep without ever realizing that it wasn't just insomnia. It was synchronization. It was your spirit picking up on a movement that your eyes just couldn't see yet. You scroll through social media, and there it is again. Another couple announcing their engagement. Another ring sparkling on a hand that looks just like yours. Another photo of two people smiling in some place you've never been with someone you've never met. You swipe past it fast, pretend you don't care, but your chest still tightens for a split second before you keep scrolling. You seek. You dedicate yourself. You do everything right, and yet abundance never comes. And the worst part? You start wondering if you're doing something wrong, if you're being heard up above, if it's meant for you at all. It's not a lack of faith or worthiness. It's a spiritual blockage that ordinary prayer alone cannot break. The Miracle Journal unblocks this in 21 days with a spiritual protocol that works exactly where your prayer doesn't reach. Along with the journal, you'll also receive as a gift the prayer guide and the Psalms manual with the most powerful sacred practices and texts to deepen your transformation. To claim your version of the journal, tap the link in the comments right below this video before you keep scrolling, and then that question comes crawling back. The one you never say out loud, but that's been living inside you for way too long. What am I doing wrong? You look at yourself in the mirror early in the morning, before anyone else is up, when the whole house is still quiet and nobody's watching. Right there, with no audience, no filter, no strength left from the mask you wear all day to seem like you're okay, you ask the only question you ever ask when you're truly alone with yourself. Why am I still alone? Why am I still by myself? Why does everyone around me seem to have found it, and I'm still right here, same as always, year after year? And at night, when the silence in your room gets too loud, you start taking inventory. All the wrong people who passed through and you thought, just for a moment, were the right one. All those conversations that almost turned into something and then just died halfway through, with no explanation, no goodbye. The time you've counted, month by month, year by year, trying to figure out why it's still not here. You pretend in public that everything is fine. You smile in pictures, you say, "I'm just focused on myself right now," when people ask. You change the subject when someone brings up dating, and underneath all of it, you're carrying a bone-tired exhaustion from waiting alone that nobody else can see. Because you've gotten so good at hiding it that sometimes even you forget it's there. I see you. I've seen every single one of those scenes, and not a single one slipped past me. And before I go any further, I need you to do something for me. If if any of those moments just met you right where you are, hit that like button. This isn't just a like on a video. It's your public amen. It's heaven's way of registering what you just admitted out in the open. Do it now, before we keep going. And if you've made it this far, still standing, still waiting, even though you're tired, even though you sometimes wonder if it's even worth it to keep believing, I want you to know something before anything else. This isn't weakness. It's the quietest, strongest kind of faith there is. The kind that keeps waiting without seeing, without a deadline, without any proof, and still refuses to give up. So listen carefully, because today I'm going to make you 3 promises, and every single one of them is going to come true. Promise number 1 is this: that loneliness that hurts, the one that wakes you up at 3 in the morning, the one that makes you stare at yourself in the mirror with no answers. It was never heaven rejecting you. It was the shaping time that comes before the right meeting. Every precious stone has to go through the cut before it gets placed in its honored setting, and that cut hurts, but it isn't punishment. It's preparation. You weren't being forgotten. You were being refined. Promise number 2 is this: before this video ends, you're going to learn how to spot the exact signs that this person is already being prepared and moved toward you. Physical signs, emotional signs, signs you've probably already lived through but never knew what they meant, and today they're finally going to get a name. Promise number 3 is this: you're going to walk away from here and you're going to be able to declare with your mouth and your heart that you've stopped running and started being found. Because that's the key that changes everything, and I want you to lock it in right now, because it's coming back more than once in this message. You don't need to chase. You need to be ready. I know about the nights when you almost stopped believing that there was any right love out there for you. I know the exact moment when you thought about giving up on waiting and just settling for anything so you wouldn't be alone anymore. I watched you type out a message to someone you knew deep down wasn't right, just so you could feel company for one night. And I watched you delete that message before you ever sent it. And I'm here to tell you that that thought didn't win. You kept going, and that's why this message is on your screen right now, and it's no accident. Now close your eyes for a moment, or just look away from the screen, and let me show you what's happening on the other side while you're waiting. The first sign is this: recurring dreams about a face you can't quite remember when you wake up, or a feeling of closeness, of warmth, of recognition that just vanishes the second your eyes open. You try to grab hold of it. You try to remember the face, the voice, the smell of that dream, and it slips through your fingers like sand. That's not random. That's your spirit recognizing something before your mind can process it. You've felt this before, more than once, and you called it a weird dream. Or you said, "What the heck was that dream about?" It wasn't weird. It was the first touch of a connection that's already being formed on another plane, before it ever shows up in this one. The second sign is this: a sudden pull toward places that were never part of your routine. A neighborhood you never had any reason to visit, but now it keeps showing up in your path more than once, in a single week, in a single month. A city that starts coming up in conversations, in ads, in thoughts that pop out of nowhere while you're washing dishes or driving with no logical explanation. You thought it was just coincidence, or a desire for change, or plain old curiosity, but it was more than that. It's a path being drawn by convergence, 2 points being brought closer on the map before they ever meet in real life, and you're being pulled little by little toward the place where it's all going to happen. The third sign is this: a sudden lack of interest in relationships that used to feel like enough. That person you kept around just so you wouldn't be alone, that conversation you kept alive out of pure habit, suddenly feels exhausting, empty, pointless. You can't explain why. You just know you don't want to force it anymore. That you can't pretend to be interested in something that's not there anymore. This isn't you getting difficult or too picky. It's the old pattern losing its grip because something new is already getting close. and your spirit can already feel the difference even before your eyes see a new face. The fourth sign is this: your heart going quiet for no reason in the face of the same loneliness that used to make you panic. You suddenly notice on some random Sunday that you don't feel that anxiety anymore, that when is it going to happen feeling, that knot in your stomach when you see another couple on the street. In its place, a strange, almost unexplainable peace starts to settle in, like something inside you already knows an answer that your mind hasn't received yet. This isn't resignation. It's not you giving up on the inside. It's heaven replacing your anxiety with the certainty of someone who already knows that the time is close. And now, the next sign is the hardest one to hear. It's the one the enemy has spent the most time trying to make you ignore, calling it coincidence, chance, your mind playing tricks on you. You're seeing things that aren't there. The fifth sign is this: a name, a number, or a coincidence that keeps showing up in your life over and over. You hear the same name 3 times in 1 week, from different people, in different situations, with no connection between them. You see the same number on the clock, on license plates, on receipts, on notifications, without looking for it, without forcing it. You think it's weird, you laugh about it, you mention it to someone, you forget about it, and then it shows up again, days later, in a different way. This isn't coincidence. Heaven doesn't speak by accident. When something keeps showing up, knocking on your door in different ways, it's because it's being pointed directly at you, and the enemy knows exactly what that means, which is why he works so hard to make you brush it off as nonsense before you ever pay real attention. If any of these signs just hit you, if you recognized at least one of them in your own life, write "free" in the comments right now. You don't have to explain it. You don't have to tell your whole story. Just write it. Because that word is your way of saying that you received what was meant for you, and heaven is reading every single comment as a response. Now close your eyes for a second. Take a deep breath. What I'm about to tell you doesn't work if your attention is split. There's a woman in the Bible named Ruth. She lost her husband when she was still young, became a widow in a land that wasn't hers, far away from her family, with no guarantee of a future, and she had every reason to give up, to run back to her parents' house, to go out hunting for a new marriage out of sheer desperation with the first guy willing to take her in. But she didn't do that. She chose to stay faithful. She stayed in the field where she was, working under the sun, gathering what was left behind the harvesters, visible, present, not hiding, but also not chasing after anyone, not forcing any doors open. And right there, in that ordinary field, on an ordinary day of ordinary work, without her looking for it, Boaz saw her. He noticed her. He asked who she was. He came up to her. Nobody had to push that meeting together. It happened because she was in the right place, being faithful, being herself, without running after anything. And there's a simple image that might explain this better than any sermon could. Think of 2 radio stations trying to tune into each other. As long as both of them keep forcing their own signal, shouting louder, trying to overpower each other, there's never going to be a connection. Just noise, just static, just frustration on both ends. But when they both stop forcing and just adjust to the same frequency, with patience, with fine-tuning, the signal comes through clean, clear, without effort, without distortion. That's how a God-designed meeting works. It's not force, it's alignment. And the silence, the stillness of someone who stops yelling for attention, that's exactly what makes this meeting possible without all the noise. Maybe you're scared that staying still means missing your chance. That if you don't run after it, someone faster, more willing, more desperate is going to get there first and take what was supposed to be yours. But look at Ruth. She didn't chase Boaz through the fields. She didn't go begging for his attention. She stayed faithful and visible right where life had placed her, and she got found. You attract through consistent presence, not through anxious pursuit. The more you run after something that's already yours by right, the more you push it away, because desperation carries a smell. The more you stand firm, faithful, present where you are, the easier you become to find. Because peace carries the smell of readiness. Notice something that almost nobody picks up on in that story. Ruth had no idea, on the morning she woke up to go harvest in that field, that it would be the day everything changed. She didn't put on a special outfit thinking she'd impress someone. She didn't pick that field strategically. She didn't spend the morning getting ready for a meeting she didn't even know was coming. She just did what she did every day with faithfulness. And it was exactly that everyday faithfulness that became the backdrop for the miracle. Your meeting could come the same way, on an ordinary day, in an ordinary routine, while you're just being exactly who you are. If you saw yourself in Ruth, if you feel like you're in your own field, waiting, faithful, even without visible guarantees, write the word Ruth or faithful harvester in the comments right now. Leave it there so it's recorded that this story is your story too. Let me pause for a full minute before I continue. If you made it this far, you've already recognized at least one of the signs I showed you. You've already seen yourself in Ruth, or you've already felt that radio frequency metaphor click inside you like a missing piece finally snapping into place. You've already declared publicly, through the like and the comment, that you're ready to stop searching any old way and start waiting the right way. And even while carrying the weight of a loneliness that nobody else can see, a weight you carry with a smile, you haven't given up. You kept going all the way to this exact minute. I know that you never stopped believing, even when you pretended to give up for everyone else, even when you said, "I'm so over this," just to look strong in front of people who asked. I saw you say, "I don't even care about that anymore." While inside, you were still waiting, still hoping, still keeping a tiny flame of hope in a corner of your heart that nobody else had access to. I watched you delete apps and then reinstall them weeks later, promising yourself that this time would be different. I saw every time you wanted to quit and couldn't, because deep down, something inside you knew it was worth it to keep waiting. And it's that quiet, hidden faithfulness that I'm going to reveal right now because it has a name. And that name is who you really are. The first identity I'm revealing about you today is this. You are the chosen one, the one who waited standing up. I saw the quiet decision you made, without applause, without anyone knowing, to not settle for wrong company just so you wouldn't be alone. I saw you turn down easy comfort, more than once, because something inside you knew you deserved more than just any presence filling empty space. That wasn't stubbornness, and it wasn't being too demanding. It was spiritual discernment, and I saw every single one of those quiet refusals. What this identity authorizes is this. You can stop apologizing for still being single. You can stop justifying your waiting like it's some kind of defect, like you need to explain to others why you haven't found anyone yet. It was never a defect. It was discernment. The second identity I'm revealing about you today is this. You are the faithful harvester, the same faithfulness of Ruth, alive in you. I saw you stay in your place, in your job, in your church, in your routine, even without any visible guarantee that anything was going to change, even when it looked like nothing was moving at all. I saw the faithfulness you had to the process, day after day, even without understanding the outcome, even without seeing immediate fruit for your effort to keep standing. What this identity authorizes is this. You can stay where you are without the anxiety of moving on your own, without forcing desperate changes, without picking up and moving cities, jobs, churches, just out of desperation to find it faster. Because, and I want you to lock this in again, you don't need to chase, you need to be ready. The third identity I'm revealing about you today is this. You are the bride, or the groom, already prepared, already ready. I saw the healing process happening inside you exactly while it looked like nothing was happening on the outside. I saw every old wound being treated, every broken relationship pattern being dismantled, every fear of abandonment being faced, while you thought you were just waiting around for nothing, wasting time. You weren't standing still. You were being shaped, piece by piece, for the person who's coming. What this identity authorizes is this: you can act right now like someone who's already being waited on, not like someone begging for attention. Posture changes everything. Someone who knows they're already being waited on walks differently, talks differently, makes different choices, doesn't shrink out of fear of being alone one more day. If any of these three identities touched you, write its name in the comments right now. Chosen one who waited standing up, faithful harvester, or prepared bride or groom. And if you're not subscribed to this channel yet, this is the moment to subscribe, because the messages coming next are going to keep confirming who you are. Now I want to give you something practical. A simple, free protocol that you can apply starting today. No complications, no cost, nothing but a willing heart. It's called the Stay Where You Are protocol, and it has 3 steps. Step 1 is this: grab a piece of paper or open a note on your phone and write down, in your own words, which of the signs I showed you have already appeared in your life. The dream you can't quite remember, the new place that keeps showing up, the sudden loss of interest in someone who used to be enough, the strange peace that replaced your anxiety, the name that keeps coming back. Putting it on paper turns a vague feeling into concrete confirmation, and what gets confirmed stops being doubt. Step 2 is this: say a prayer of surrender. Not a desperate begging prayer like, "God, just send it already. I can't take this waiting anymore." But a prayer of release. Let go of the anxiety of searching, let go of controlling the timeline, and hand that control back to God. Say it out loud if you can, alone in your room, that you're stopping the chase and starting to trust the right timing, even without knowing the exact date. Step 3 is this: stay visible and faithful in the place where you are. In your job, in your church, in your routine, in your friendships, in your city. Don't change everything out of desperation. Don't force yourself into new environments just to increase your chances. Don't throw yourself into situations that don't make sense just because your anxiety is screaming louder. Stay where you are, being faithful, being yourself, being visible without forcing it, exactly like Ruth stayed in her field. And the sign that this protocol is working inside you won't be euphoria. It won't be that over-the-top feeling of, "This is it. I know it's happening this week." It's going to be stillness, a peace in your chest when you think about the waiting, instead of the anxiety you used to feel. Because one more time, and this is the 3rd time I've repeated it today because it needs to be burned into you, you don't need to chase. You need to be ready. If you're receiving this protocol right now and you intend to apply all 3 steps starting today, write "received" in the comments. This is your commitment, recorded before heaven. Now I need to warn you about something. In the next 72 hours, 3 things are going to be thrown at you. Not as possibilities, as certainties. The first tactic is called the pressure of comparison. It's going to come disguised as well-meaning advice from people who love you, which makes it harder to spot. It's going to be a family member asking when you're going to find someone, an aunt comparing you to your cousin who's already married with kids, a casual comment at a family dinner that carries the hidden weight of expectation. The weapon of this tactic is to make you feel behind on something that never had a deadline, to make you doubt your own timing because of other people's clocks. The second tactic is called planned distraction. It's going to come disguised as the wrong person, showing up right when your faith was growing, right when you were most steady in your waiting, most at peace, most confident. This person is going to seem interesting, they're going to seem convenient, they're going to arrive with timing that's almost too perfect, and their weapon is to pull you off the path of the preparation happening inside you, to make you trade the right thing that's on its way for the convenient thing that's already in front of you. The third tactic is called the clock of shame. It's going to come disguised as realism, whispering that it's already too late, that you're being too naive to still believe in this at this point in your life. Its weapon is to dress up giving up as wisdom, to make abandoning the weight and settling for anything seem mature just so you don't grow old alone. And there's still an internal enemy, the most dangerous voice of all, because it doesn't use someone else's face. It uses your own voice in the middle of the night when nobody else is talking. It whispers, "You're not desirable enough to wait for something this good." That voice doesn't come from outside. It tries to disguise itself as self-awareness, as humility, as I'm just being realistic with myself. But it's a lie dressed up as good sense. You were formed, you were refined, you were prepared piece by piece exactly for this. You are, yes, desirable enough. If you're receiving this word of protection against these three tactics and against that internal voice, write "protected" in the comments right now. The decree is being sealed as you write. Now come with me to the closing. Put your hand over your chest. Close your eyes if you're in a safe place to do that. Take a deep breath. Once, slowly, feeling the air go in and come out. I want you to release 3 burdens right now, out loud if you can. The first is the anxiety of the search, that urge to run after it, to force it, to control time that isn't yours to control. The second is the comparison with people who already have partners, that habit of measuring your life against everyone else's, of feeling smaller every time you see another happy couple. The third is the shame of loneliness, that feeling that being alone until now is something to be embarrassed about, something you need to explain or apologize for. Release all 3 right now, one at a time, in silence or out loud. I saw you waking up at 3 in the morning, not understanding why, feeling something approaching before your mind could explain it. That wasn't insomnia. It was my time moving close to yours. It was heaven whispering a secret that your soul felt before your mind understood. I saw you in front of the mirror, early, before anyone else was up, asking that silent question you only ask when nobody's looking. Why am I still alone? Why am I still by myself? And I'm telling you now, with the same closeness of those silent early mornings, with the same intimacy of that mirror, that the answer was never rejection. It was preparation. Every sleepless early morning, every morning in front of the mirror was a step bringing you closer to this moment. I cover your mind now so that thoughts of being behind, of shame, of "it's already too late," find no place left to settle. I cover your relationships so that you can recognize with clarity the difference between what's a distraction and what's destiny. I cover your time so that you stop measuring your life by other people's clocks and start trusting my clock, which is never late and never forgets a promise. And I cover this specific area of your life, love. The meeting, the soulmate who is already on the way, so that it arrives at the right time, protected from every distraction, aligned with the purpose I formed for both of you, without interference from anything or anyone. I send you back now to your routine, to your job, to your home, to your ordinary life, but you're not going to walk the same way anymore. You're going to walk like someone who knows they're being waited on, not like someone begging for attention. That shift in posture starts right now, at this very moment. Maybe tomorrow morning everything will look exactly the same. Your job will still be the same. Your home will still be the same. That empty room will still be there for a little while longer. But on the inside, something is already different. Because what used to be anxiety now has the name of faithful waiting. And what used to be shame now has the name of an identity received. You're going to recognize the signs when they show up. Because today, I gave you their names. And every time doubt tries to come back, whispering that nothing has changed, you're going to remember this word, this hour, this moment, when you released those 3 burdens and received a promise in return. Say it out loud right now. I stay where I am. My soulmate is already on their way to me. Say it again if you need to, with more conviction this time. I stay where I am. My soulmate is already on their way to me. It is done. What was delivered here has been delivered. You are not the same person you were when this message started. If this word reached you, write "done" in the comments right now. And after that, think of one specific person. Someone you know is tired of waiting alone. Someone who needs to hear exactly this today. Maybe a friend, a sibling, someone from your prayer group, and send this video to them. Not to a random group, not to a generic story post, to that specific person, by name, right now. And if they want to go further, if they want to deepen this preparation with more guidance, the link is in the first comment. Waiting the same way it has waited for them. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to recognize exactly the moment when the meeting is about to happen. The final signs before the arrival, the ones that only show up in the last days of the waiting. Don't miss it. Amen? It is done. Stay where you are, because your soulmate is already on their way to you. You seek. You dedicate yourself. You do everything right, and yet abundance never comes. And the worst part? You start wondering if you're doing something wrong, if you're being heard up above, if it's meant for you at all. It's not a lack of faith or worthiness. It's a spiritual blockage that ordinary prayer alone cannot break. The Miracle Journal unblocks this in 21 days with a spiritual protocol that works exactly where your prayer doesn't reach. Along with the journal, you'll also receive as a gift the prayer guide and the Psalms manual with the most powerful sacred practices and texts to deepen your transformation. To claim your version of the journal, tap the link in the comments right below this video.